Hey guys, it's Melissa, Hauntzilla with Terror on the Hill, and you've asked for it. I'm going to give it to you. We're going to do a walkthrough of Terror on the Hill. I'm going to give you a little bit of the backstory, and I'm going to go room by room and tell you where I got the stuff that I did for that room, how I did it to some degree, and hopefully you like it. So first and foremost, this is going to be the Edwards Funeral Home. If you've checked out our website, you'll see that the backstory all revolves around Vivian Edwards and how she butchered her parents as well as some neighborhood kids and some animals, and she's a very disturbed girl that's controlled by her demonic doll. Before I start walking through, I'll quickly say a lot of this stuff was donated to us. All of the panels that you'll see that made up the inside of my garage and these two tents were donated to us by another haunt that was going out of business in Austin, Doc Avery's Haunt. I was Jimmy on the spot and was able to nab these panels, which is what made it possible for me to let my creativity just go wild. A lot of the stuff that you'll see, like the old fencing, people like to replace their fences around here. I just walked up to one person, the workers that were replacing a fence, and said, hey, what are you gonna do with that old fence? And they said, I'm gonna throw it away. And I said, oh yeah, here's 20 bucks, bring it to my house. So a lot of that you'll see also repurposed fencing. So first and foremost, we are going to go through Vivian's home. Come on this way. You'll see that between each room is this black plastic. The black plastic is fire retardant plastic that I got from Fright Props. Everything in this haunt, to the best of my ability, has been fire retardant materials or has been sprayed down with fire retardant. Highly recommend that you use it. Also, we have 4 fire extinguishers strategically placed in, throughout the haunt where there's going to be an actor, also for everybody's safety. Come right this way. When people first walk in, they're going to walk into this winding hallway. This hallway has got these tubes hanging down. It will also have a fishing string, which I haven't put up yet, but I'm going to. Note, these are pool noodles. I found out the hard way that these pool noodles do not hold spray paint. Apparently somebody else has made this mistake before. There's supposed to be some kind of primer that you put on it first and then you paint it. Yeah, I didn't read that, I didn't know that, and so I spent an hour rubbing these tubes up and down, long hard strokes to get rid of the black paint. Yes, long hard strokes on these tubes. That's what she said. This way. Welcome to Vivian's bedroom. This is actually my room. I play the part of Vivian and will be scaring people in this room. This bed I got off of Craigslist for 50 bucks. The wallpaper and the windows that you see here, I purchased from the Habitat for Humanity resale. I'll be saying that a lot because I did get lots of stuff from them. That is a great resource as they have leftover building materials from new home constructions that they sell to the public for ridiculously cheap. The hutch, the top part was built by my father and me, the bottom part was donated to us. All of the dolls were purchased on eBay. I won them in bids, so you can imagine that they were ridiculously cheap as well. The paint. Everybody has asked about the paint. I love the Oops section in Home Depot. It is my favorite place to go and check out. If you get to know the people that work in the paint section, they will be willing to tint those used paints, like the whiter colors, to whatever color you want. Technically they're not supposed to, But like I said, you get to know them and, you know, get in good with them, they'll hook you up that way. So this blue was an oops, and it worked perfectly with Vivian's dress and also with the wallpaper. As for the plants I got at Michael's, they had a sale, so I got it for like 50% off or what have you. The wood effect that I did, the holes in the wall, that's all balsa wood. And as for the paint, now my favorite colors to use, and I used them pretty much throughout the entire haunt, I'll talk about first, are olive green, bittersweet chocolate, and gold strike. These were put into spray bottles primarily with water. I can't tell you the ratio. It just was, I would test spray it, and if I thought, hey, that's thick enough or that's runny enough, that was perfect, and it changed with each room. In this room, I actually sponged it on using a sea sponge that you can get from Michael's or any hobby art supply store. In addition to these colors being on the wall, I also used wood stain, which is what created the drip effect, and also put around the holes. The holes were colored in jet black. That was to make that, you know, hole effect behind the balsa wood. The stain, the wood stain that I used was red oak stain. It's the same stain that I use on my corpses or on my skeletons when corpsing. So I know that there's a lot of tutorials out there on corpsing skeletons. Dr. Terror Eyes has a great tutorial on corpsing skeletons. That's where I learned how to corpse skeletons. Awesome, check him out. I know that Alan Hops at Stilt Beast Studios also has an amazing corpsing tutorial. Definitely check them out. So that's that. Oh, the blood that you see on the walls. I actually use 2 different color bloods throughout my haunts. When I have something that's on these walls, which would be considered coagulated blood, something that's been sitting for a while, I use candy apple red. Whenever I'm using something that looks more like a spray, fresh blood, I use red, I can't read this, geranium, red geranium, which is a lighter color red. This is for an arterial spray. Definitely get those, get you some of those. Now we're going to, that's my 6-year-old. Say hi to everybody, Taylor.
Hi.
Okay. This way, please. Oh, wow. Okay. This is a hallway in Vivian's home that has been turned into a meat locker. This is where they store the freshly skinned people. In here you will see my meat sickles. Here's one of them right here. This is a Costco skeleton. I did a tutorial on how I made this guy. I haven't posted it yet, but I will post it, so definitely check that out. You'll see that I've got grates up here, a bunch of antique or rusty, like those are like animal traps and stuff, and whatever I could find at our Canton food or flea market. These are chains to create that eerie feeling and sound of being somewhere very uneasy for people. The walls in here, I used laminate floor tiles that I stapled, glued, or screwed into the wall. I used some of these washers and everything to give that, something about metal makes you feel cold, and I wanted people to feel cold and when they're in this room. Same balsa wood hole effect. Oh, I forgot to mention in there, this white that goes around the holes, that's just drywall compound, the same kind of stuff that we use in Monster Mud that I used around it to give that drywall cracking effect. And the drippage that you see here is shellac. How I love shellac. You'll see that shellac's used a lot throughout this haunt. Right here is our sink. This is just a utility sink that you can get at your Home Depot. I got this at the Restore, the Habitat for Humanity Restore. There is a garden pump down here in a bucket filled with water. The water has been tinted red, and so it's continuously running this bloody water into this disgusting sink. Permablood. I used Permablood on my meat sickles. I've used a little bit of it on the walls. I used it on the sink. You'll see it in other places where this dark red color is. Permablood is awesome. It looks very realistic, but it is expensive, so use it sparingly. On these meat sickles, to get this red effect, I didn't use all Permablood. I primarily used a wood stain called Cabernet. That was that lovely shiny grossness here, and there's just been highlights of Permablood on it. The bucket Ogre, just a standard old bucket that's been filled with fire retardant spray foam. I actually love fire retardant spray foam because it's orange tinted. And when it's orange tinted, you can paint it or stain it red so easily. You don't need multiple coats of Permablood or the wood stain. It's just that good. So this is wood stain primarily with hints of Permablood on it, and the spray foam in, and then we have some dollar store feet and arms and ears and all that just kind of shoved in there to give you that like grossness of body parts byproducts. Real quick, I want to mention a friend of mine, a great guy by the name of Wes Holt. He is the owner of Hauntzilla. Hauntzilla has a website, hauntzillausa.com. Check him out. He's a picker, and he will pick antiques from funeral homes, hospitals, dentists, you name it. He gets some creepy ass stuff. And these meat hooks are authentic meat hooks that he got from a slaughterhouse. They're out of the way because this is heavy steel and I don't want anybody to hurt themselves on it, but this is like a little prize of mine. And this way. Welcome to Vivian's uncle Ed Gaines' kitchen. I think everybody's familiar with Ed Gaines. Okay, so in here, going back to the Habitat for Humanity resale, that's where I got these countertops. There's 1 and 2 over there. The bases or the doors are also from there. Using plywood and 2x2s and 2x4s that I got from Lowe's. If you go to Lowe's, they will tend to have wood that they can't sell sitting out front in bundles, and they'll sell it to you at fraction of cost. I got over $200 worth of wood for 20 bucks, and plywood was part, or this particle board was part of it, the 2x4s. It was awesome. So, because you don't need everything to be perfect. So I built these countertops, still using the same colors that I had mentioned before, the olive green, the bittersweet chocolate, and the gold strike. And in a spray bottle, sprayed the top of here, which is this wallpaper I actually got from Lowe's. I wanted pretty wallpaper to kind of be a contradiction to this place. Put it up here. Lots of shellac has been dripped down, the peeling and everything. Voila. I got some creepy animal heads here. Those were at the flea market. This stove, it's funny what you can find on Craigslist. The stove was a $50 buy on Craigslist that I completely destroyed with the exact same colors. There is Permablood on here. The pots and pans are filled with this grossness that looks like intestines and a brain and whatever else boiling over their cannibalistic feast. This is all spray foam, orange spray foam. And my other daughter is now calling me. Got some of this stuff at a garage sale of another haunter, and so yeah, that's what's going on here. Talk about these lights real quick. This is an FS5 flicker box that this light is plugged into. What's inside here is a picture light on a candelabra cord. And this cagey looking thing is actually a light that we got at the flea market. It's a new hot thing where people will take these old rustic antiques or old rustic farm stuff and repurpose them. This is actually a chicken feeder light that, like I said, I got at the flea market for crazy cheap. And so this is the kitchen. This way. Welcome to the boiler room. The boiler room, oh, this was actually both a passionate room of mine, a favorite of mine, and also probably the one that scared me the most. I wanted so much to make this look as authentic as possible. I was talking about oops colors. So there were 2 gallons of this gray. For some reason, there's more grays in the oops section than any other place, and I love that. So I painted these panels in this gray metal looking color and just added various different things that look industrial. These are PVC pipes that have been screwed into it, just various different elements I could find. I found some grates. Home Depot had a bunch of these grates for sale. Actually, they were missing parts, so I got them for like $5. And I think I got like a box of 7 or 8 of them. They're like, you want them without the parts? I'm like, yes. So any type of thing I could put in here. Grates. This grate was from the Habitat for Humanity. These farm gears that you'll see, I got from that Canton flea market, and I just put them in here. Now this rusting thing, I used jack-o'-lantern horn, and if you go to A Haunter's Life YouTube, you will see Bart Butler's amazing tutorial on how to rust. I did 2 techniques in here. I did his rusting technique that you see, which is that orange color here, and used a lot of shellac. I dusted it like he did with espresso brown spray paint, Rust-Oleum, and lots of shellac. I think I said that already. Lots of shellac. The oozing nastiness that's coming out of these pipes is spray foam that I painted green. Excuse me. And so as for the second rusting technique that you'll see, so when the paint was still wet, I sprinkled on iron oxide sand, which is the same stuff that they use in Brutal Rust. I didn't buy Brutal Rust because I knew I could make this same effect at home. So I went to a science supply store where I bought 5 pounds of this iron oxide sand, and then I sprayed it with vinegar. And so that's what, and then also for this drip effect added the shellac. So I did 2 different rusting techniques to really just, I like to mix things up a bit. I'm going to walk this way and set off my prop. Ready? Oh, how I love that prop. That was from Fright Props. It is their live wire effect. It's probably one of the best props, not one of the best, it's great prop in here. We expect a lot of people to jump to that one. We have a camera right here, a surveillance camera that I hope to catch a lot of scares with that one. You'll just see that I have more grates, anything industrial that I could find, I threw it on here. These, as well as that, those are made out of foam. This is made out of foam. Each and every one of these bolts were cut using the hot wire cutting thing tool, tabletop tool, and cut each of these bolts out. This here is an actual hot water heater that I got off Craigslist for 20 bucks, and just added a bunch of stuff to it to make it look very old and nasty and all that kind of stuff. And I do believe my cameraman is going to set off the prop again, so be ready. how much you're gonna see. So in here is our vortex laser. Because it's daylight, I don't know how much of the laser you're actually gonna see. This is just black plastic hallway, and the laser prop, I am going to completely give 100% credit to Roland Pickens. Find him on Facebook. He is the owner of Toxic Pneumatics out of Arlington, Texas, and he is amazing. He made this laser vortex or laser tunnel thing for us, and it's one of my favorite things in the world. So come right on through. I don't know if you can see me, it's all a bit foggy. I just wanted you to see the effect. Welcome to the Edwards Morgue. Is it raining?
We gotta pause this for a second. You have tools sitting out there.
That's okay. They're okay. Really quick, because it's raining, if you can believe it. Oh my gosh. Anyway, so, yes, got the gurney. This was on Craigslist. It was 35 bucks. The walls, again, floor laminate tiles that I glued and stapled to the panels. This is, and created this rust. What I did was cut out different areas here, added some drywall compound, some wood stain, shellac to create this. The tiles are like missing effect. Added the permablood all over the place. Back here is our morgue. Each of these drawers are made out of foam. The handles I got at Home Depot. Again, they were missing screws out of the packages, so I got them at a ridiculous price. The same rust effect that I did in the boiler room is in here. This back panel, you'll see it looks like metal. This is actually foam, insulation foam, where one half of it is like this aluminum covering or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's our morgue right here. The x-ray box I built, it's just 1x2s and 2x4s or 2x1s, sorry, to make the shape. This is plastic, the same kind of plastic that you would use on your vacuum form that you make, the vacuum forms. Inside of it are two picture lights to a candelabra cord that are plugged into an FS5 starter flicker box. The x-rays I got off of eBay. So yeah, painted it black, and that's my x-ray box. These are cheap plastic jars that you can get just about anywhere with dollar store stuff in, eyeballs and hands and hearts and livers and everything. These will be filled up with water, and I am going to put a glow stick at the bottom of each and every one of these to get a really eerie effect. I only have so many glow sticks, and they are all being saved for tomorrow, so this way. You have now exited the Edwards funeral home and are going outside to the funeral grounds or the cemetery grounds. Trees, all of the trees that you'll see throughout the cemetery and this breezeway here, I got off of Craigslist. I don't think I paid more than $15 for any of these trees. I think they're like $5 trees, and I think I got two of them for like 10 bucks or whatever. People try to get rid of their trees. These sconces at the Habitat resale again, wired in picture bulbs and on candelabra cords. So that's what's creating this. This here, I wish I could take credit for. I was running out of time, and I knew I wouldn't have time to do anything like this. This was made by the people at Tombstone Factory. They are great people to work with, crazy creative. As you can see, they're really good. This is my design that they did this with. It's all made out of foam, and yeah, great stuff. I definitely would recommend checking them out. this way. Now, you just heard my prop go off. We're gonna go back up a second, let it reset, so you can see what I've done. We'll walk on this way. Okay, so this prop here, this is a real casket that I got from Hauntzilla, as well as that organ, which he will pan over to in just a second. This prop was made by Roland Pickens, Toxic Pneumatics, love that guy, out of Arlington. Definitely suggest checking him out. The wall, you guys have seen this on Facebook. This whole thing was made of foam. So these panels, I covered the panels in foam, and then I did a texture skip trowel on them with drywall compound, and then I painted it with Oops Gray, and then I sponged it with another Oops Gray, which was a darker shade of gray, and as well as a black, and just alternated between those colors to create this kind of stone effect. Each of these are foam. What's cool about this is that when I put them on, I spray painted them with the bronze. It ate away at the foam to make this textured bronze look. Each of these letters are the color stick-on foam letters that you can get at Michael's. They're in the kids section. These were all like funny shaped type letters that I then stuck on and then painted first with a copper color, and then went back and added this metallic teal color for a patina look. At Michael's, in the paper mache area, you'll see these cones. These are paper mache cones that are screwed into the wall and spray painted bronze. That's where the flowers are sitting in. Over here, my skeleton is missing his head. It's right here. I have to fix that. The organ, like I said, I got from Hauntzilla. These candles are 2-inch PVC pipes that I melted hot glue onto and made this drip effect, and then painted them with an antique white spray paint, and then added these little flicker tea lights that you can get at any hobby store. These are from the flea market. They're repurposed stuff. I think I got them for like $5 and stuck them on the wall because I thought they looked cool. This way. It was supposed to be like 0% rain. Welcome to the Edwards Cemetery. Okay, so like I said, trees were from Craigslist. The fence I got from some workers that were going to throw it away for free. Right here you'll see Helen's Memorial. This is actually a fiberglass statue that I got through an auction. It was broken, and I got it for cheap and knew I was going to use it in some form or fashion. Didn't know I was going to do a memorial until recently, and that's what I've done here. The tombstone here, as well as all of these tombstones, lost it. And that tombstone is all from Tombstone Factory. Yeah, those guys again. Telling you, great stuff. I made the memorial bases and the pillar that is made out of, it's 2x2s that made the structure, but then this is foam, and then this is covered in foam. And took a hot knife to it, painted it gray. No, first I painted it black all over, rolled on the gray, and then added a watered down black drip effect just by, first I sprayed it all down with water and then I sprayed it with the black to create this dripping effect. The fence here is really easy to make. It's a 2x4 base with 1-inch holes drilled into it. This is, I'm sorry, half inch. Use a half-inch Forstner to drill the holes into it. This is half-inch PVC pipe that are hot glued into each of the holes. These are 1x2s that create this gate effect. You'll see on the end pieces and in the middle piece, there is one connector PVC. This is what stops the wood from sliding all the way down. So these are this is my stoppers. These are plastic finials that you can get from a garden supply place. Really cheap. I think they're like 56 cents each, or maybe even less than that. I don't even remember. These lights are PVC pipe with a PVC end piece. Inside of them are picture frame bulbs that I've been talking about on a candelabra cord. It was these things that I was drilling an inch hole into with the Forstner tip on my drill and took the chunk out of my hand. So be very careful when you're trying to drill into those PVC end pipe caps. Over here is our burning scarecrow. This burning embers is fire retardant. Again, that orange fire retardant spray foam that I spray it all over, and then I spray painted it black. Underneath are Halloween lights, Halloween orange lights that flicker. Not all of them flicker, but some of them flicker, which create this kind of burning ember effect underneath my scarecrow. The same technique for Helen's monument was done for Sydney's monument here, just on a bigger scale. Again, foam, hot knife to create the cracks and such, and the drip and the whole thing. This is a foam ball that I got at Michael's that I took the hot knife to and created the crack into it, and so that's it. So I know this has been long and painful. I would walk outside, but it's raining. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I answered most, maybe even all, of your questions regarding how I did it, where I got it, what I did, and all that wonderful stuff. Please don't hesitate to ask me questions. Find me on Facebook. You can find me at Melissa Winton on Facebook or at Terror on the Hill. You can contact me through terroronthehill.com, our website. I'm also on Instagram at terror_on_the_hill. Or you can email me at terroronthehill@gmail.com. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions that you guys may have. And if you can't visit us this year, I sure hope that you can find us next year. Little haunt, big screams. Catch you next time.